beer equipment review time, and this one comes courtesy of Matt at Kegkingdom.co.uk, who sell everything sort of Cornelius keg and keg regulators related. They've now started to stock these 2 litre growlers that have come onto the market in the UK, and he's kindly sent me one to review and put through its paces. The idea being that it's an insulated growler that you can fill up at your local beer shop and dispense your favourite beverage in. It comes with, there's 2 other parts you can get with this. So you can get the growler, you could go and fill this up and just pour your beer when you get back home, and it will keep that beer cold and fresh at the temperature it was from where you got it from. But there's 2 other parts you can also purchase, and they are the actual dispensing tap with a little party tap on the end, so that goes into the bottom of the flask and then dispenses the beer. And then you've also got the regulator which goes on it, which allows you to put the, I believe they're the 16 gram ones, the screw thread ones, into that and allow you to adjust the pressure to dispense your beer. They do state that it's not really designed, or isn't designed, for carbonating a beer. Whether or not you could, I'm unsure. I guess you probably could if the beer was cold enough to start with, and then you put the regulator on and adjusted it. The growler itself does state that it holds up to 40 psi. So it's vacuum insulated to keep your beer cold for hours, and can also be used for hot liquids. So you can't exactly put a warm beer in there and stick it in your fridge and expect it to go cold, because it's whatever temperature it's in there, it's going to maintain that temperature. I'm guessing keeping it in the fridge will help prolong the temperature that it is, but you can't expect to kind of put it in there and the fridge do its work. This being insulated is designed to keep it fresh and the temperature that you set it at. So what I'm going to do in a sec, I'm going to go down to my local beer shop, and I'm hoping that they can fill it with their growler filling station. I did message them in the week to see if they could accept the size of the cap on that. I know that Matt himself has used it at his local beer shop and managed to fill these up, so I'm just hoping mine can do the same for me. Bring it back here and drink some beer basically, but also do a review of how the dispensing works, how well it works, the flow control of it, because obviously you can adjust the pressure depending on how carbonated the beer is from wherever you get it from, or the beer you put in it yourself, and then adjust the regulator to allow the flow of beer to come out. It's fully stainless steel. It feels weighty, it feels like a solid piece of equipment, and even the regulator is a real kind of, it's a beast. It's really chunky. And then that's the little party taps you've all seen for, and you also get there's a little disconnect which you could put onto your normal corny keg, or like myself, I've got the 9 litre corny keg, and that would allow you to put that regulator onto there and adjust for dispensing in that as well. I don't think, even with the 9 litre keg as well, you can't really carbonate with the little bulbs. You use so many bulbs to carbonate, in a 9 litre keg anyway. Maybe it would work in these, I'm not sure. It might be worthwhile experimenting, I don't know, but they advise against it, so there's probably a reason for it. But it's mainly for dispensing, so what I like to do in my other 9 litre keg as well is to naturally carbonate and just use it to dispense like that. But I'm really looking forward to this one, because it'd be a handy thing to go, when you're going camping, going to a friend's house that night. It's just the right size and the right amount of beer. So I'll cut back once we've got some beer in this, and then we'll see how we get on. So it's the second part of the review for the growler. Did have a bit of bad luck. I took it to my local beer shop hoping that they would fill it with they've got a growler filling station, but they do actually sell their own glass type growlers, and I was hoping that mine would be able to be used in their system, but unfortunately it's like a pressure system, and they need to be able to see exactly how much beer is going into the vessel to fill it up. So I wasn't actually able to get any keg beer, but they do cask beer as well. So I did pick up 2 litres of some cask beer, and they had one of my favourite beers on, which is Dark Star Hophead, so I had to fill the growler up with that. I've now switched the top over, which is a really easy thing to do. The little metal part that stays on the neck of the growler, literally just pinch it together, the other lid unclamps and this new lid goes on. This part does unscrew as well. And then it's just a simple case of clockwise screwing the little CO2 bulb in there until you hear a slight hiss. You need to make sure that the valve is in the off position when you initially put it in, and then you can just crank that up to your serving pressure. And I'll crank it up a little bit now, and hopefully you can get a feel for it going up a little bit. you'll probably see that it's gone up probably a little bit too high now. We're just going to pour some beer off on here now, and if I can do this one-handed without spilling it everywhere. Now this isn't going to be super fizzy because it's cask beer, so stop it there. You will get a couple of little drips on the end. Just going to put this down. I do find that you can hang the tap on it just like that. And we're going to see, pick this up at about, what time was it? Probably about 11 o'clock today. And it's still as cool as it was when I picked it up from the shop, and I haven't had the growler in the fridge or anywhere else. Sort of, it's just been kicking around in my flat. Well, I have drunk a little bit of it earlier today, I will confess. It's probably not going to last the end of the night, but it's fantastic. It's as fresh as it was earlier. I mean, normally when I pick it up from my local beer shop, they kind of, you can buy it either in their 2 litre growler, the cask ale as well, or like a 2 litre plastic milk carton. But I feel this definitely kind of, it's either one, going to preserve it for a lot longer, two, dispensing is a breeze. It's just so awesome to be able to kind of sit there on your sofa, your growler next to you, put the gas on a little bit, pour yourself a beer. It's fantastic. And as for the beer, Dark Star Hophead. Oh. I believe it's only 3.8% the beer, but it's just out of this world. It's just hoppy. It's just lovely. It really, really is nice. It's got that kind of real kind of citrusy kick. It's got a real kind of bitter back note, but not overly bitter. It's not kind of smacking you around the chops like some of the big American IPAs, but there's enough there to make you think, wow, this is a really hoppy beer. And only 3.8%. I could drink pints and pints of it. To be honest, I'd probably have to buy another growler and buy 2. It's that nice. Mm. So I do need to seek out some keg beer. But as for the actual product and how it works, I can't fault it. It's solidly built. It's the real deal. It's excellent, and it really does work. You know, I can see this getting a lot of use. Definitely, it comes highly recommended. And obviously, as you're dispensing, the little pressure gauge you'll go down. You'll see how much gas. And I'm assuming, I think you can pretty much, one bulb will dispense the whole 2 litres. So it's not really going to cost you too much in bulbs to dispense the beer that you've got. So if you want to get your hands on one of these, head over to kegkingdom.co.uk, or you can pick this up. Cheers.